Welcome. In this video I'll demonstrate how to solve a set of linear equations using Excel. Here you see an example, 3 variables and 3 equations. And in this particular case I know the solution already, so we can easily compare that with the answers we find later on using Excel. Here you can check the solutions, whether they are correct or not, by substitution. 3 times t1, so 3 times 2 makes 6, plus 2 times 0.5, that's 1, plus 6 is 7, plus the last one, 5 times 3 makes 15, and together it's 22. And also the second and third equation is correct. Before I show you how to find the solutions with the use of Excel, you must know something about matrices. And here, if you look at the equations once more, then you see that I wrote them down in such a way that the 3 variables are in line with each other. So it's easy to pick the 9 coefficients and write them down in a matrix. Don't forget the zeros and the minus ones in this particular case, and then you get this one. If you multiply this matrix with 3 columns and 3 rows by a column matrix with the 3 t's, and you read this as 3 times t1 plus 2 times t2 plus 5 times t3 makes 22, then you've got the first equation, and 2 times t1 minus t2 plus 0 t3 makes 3.5 is the second one, and for the last equation you can do the same. And now we have the matrix equation A times T makes B. A is the square matrix and T and B are 2 column matrices, and we want to find the values of matrix T. And therefore you have to know another thing about matrices, and that's about the existence of the so-called A inverse. You can derive it from A. It's not always easy to do, but Excel can do it for you. And A1 is a very special matrix, because if you multiply A inverse and A, you get E, the unity matrix, and that's a 3 by 3 matrix with only zeros apart from the diagonal. There you find only ones. And sometimes you see, instead of A inverse, A to the power minus 1, but that's the same as the A inverse here. Well, this behavior is what we are going to use in the solution of our problem. If we multiply the left hand side by A inverse, we have to do the same thing at the right hand side, then you see on the left hand side a product of A inverse and A, and that makes E. So here we get E times T makes A inverse times B, and E times T is the column matrix T itself. And this is what we were looking for, T equals A inverse times B. So now we can use this in Excel. Well, and if we open Excel, you see I did some preparations already. Here you see the same example. Well, the first thing now is select cells, 9 cells here for the data of matrix A. I give it an outline and a name, right click, provide a name. A is already suggested, and you see if I select them, I see there the name A. For B, the same thing. I do it over here. 3 cells, a column, an outline, and a name. Also the suggestion B. And now we have to put data in those cells. The next thing is select 9 cells for A inverse. I do this here, 9 cells, an outline, give it a name, and Excel has a matrix function to produce the A inverse values from A, and type in this place equal sign M inverse matrix inverse. You see it here, double click, just type A, and don't type enter but Control Shift Enter, and then you'll see here the values of A inverse. Just to check, we make a multiplication of A and A inverse. We do that here. We select 9 cells, and Excel has a function for matrix multiplication. You see it here, double click. 2 arrays can be multiplied, and you see it here separated by a semicolon. Sometimes in some versions of Excel you see only a comma, but here semicolon. So we type A, semicolon, A inverse, and again Control Shift Enter, and there we are, the unity matrix. And now the solution is almost there. The last thing is select 9 cells. This is what we're doing here. Give it a name T. And the values of T can be found by the formula A inverse times B. So matrix multiplication, M multiplication, 2 arrays. The first one is A inverse, semicolon, and B, bracket close, Control Shift Enter. And there we are. Wait, it's not correct. Let's have a look. Ah, yes, the -2 is of course a -1, so if we change it, there we are. And that's it. A solution by Excel. Thanks you for watching.